Hello everyone! Okay, the beginning of this video is going to be in real time because I want to show you some of the products I'm using. So I have some craft cardstock, some basil marshmallow cardstock, this super fun Stamp Market stamp, and some embossing powder and charms from Emerald Creek. Oh my gosh, can't talk. And I have these cute little Alice in Wonderland stamps, or stickers. So this card has been in my head for literally like weeks. And this was the first time I was really able to sit down and create something that I just wanted to create. So Christina had sent me these little stickers as just a gift with one of my orders from her. And the Stamp Market stamps are also from her. They're from her shop. And I actually received the stickers the day I shot this video. I also received from Christina a bone folder. So if you know anything about Teflon bone folders, you know how ridiculously expensive they are, right? They're like 50 bucks, you know, $40, $50. Some are even more than that. But when we were at CHA, I had come across a company called Dress My Craft. They have a YouTube channel, and they also sell a Teflon bone folder, but their bone folder is only $20. So I went ahead and had Christina order one for me, and I thought I would give it a try. So I'm going to use it on this card. This is basil marshmallow cardstock, which forever cracks when I try to make a card out of it. So I generally don't make cards with my basil marshmallow cardstock because it cracks horribly. But I was really wanting to kind of get this bone folder working and play with it and see what it did. So I decided that what I was going to do is I was going to try and use it on this basil marshmallow cardstock. And it worked. It worked fabulously. It scored and folded that marshmallow cardstock. You're going to see it in a minute. And it didn't crack my marshmallow cardstock. I was so excited and so happy. And since I shot this video, it has become my new favorite tool in the history of ever. So I was sending Christina messages and I was telling her how amazing this bone folder was. See, it comes in its own little case. And it's fabulous. I was telling her how awesome it was and what a great deal it was because it's so much cheaper than other bone folders, than other Teflon bone folders, but it works really well. And she said, I'll put them in my shop for pre-order. And I'm like, oh, you don't have to do that. She goes, I'm doing it. And here's a discount code for your flat followers too. Ah! So below you will find a link to this fabulous Teflon bone folder, which is only $20. And you can use a coupon code, Sarah Scraps, so that you can have lovely, not cracked cardstock card bases too. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say. You can grab these stamps that I'm using in her shop as well. But the main reason for keeping the beginning of that video so slow was just to explain to you how amazing the bone folder is. And if you are someone who is looking to becoming a card maker or wanting to make card bases, make cards for yourself, then I highly, highly recommend run over to Christina's shop, pre-order yourself a Teflon bone folder. And you can use my code Sarah Scraps, all one word, all capital letters, and that will give you 10% off your bone folder. Pretty awesome. Actually, it'll give you 10% off the whole shop. So if you're interested in that, you go right ahead, and I'll leave links below. So I wanted to create an Alice in Wonderland card. And I knew that I wanted to do a Harlequin pattern on the back of my card. This background took me 3 tries. Not 1, not 2, but 3 tries to finally figure out how to stamp it so that it would stay nice and straight. And the way that I did that was by starting with the 4 stamps, as you see here, all in a row. And then if something needed stamped twice, I just pulled the other 3 off and stamped the one that needed to be stamped twice. I am stamping with my Altenew Permanent Black Crisp inks, which is my very, very favorite black ink. Although I've heard very, very good things about their new pigment ink, and I'm excited to try that one too. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp a Harlequin design over the entire front of this card base. And I'm fairly certain that I was good and that I got it straight. When I was snapping pictures of the card, I still felt like I messed it up and it wasn't all straight and it was a little crooked, but I really think I got it. I think I did good. I don't think my crooked eye messed me up. You can see me here, like how crazy I'm being, trying to get everything stamped and just exactly where I wanted it. I want to heat emboss a couple of these solid colored diamonds, and the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to take that solid stamp that I'll use for embossing later, and for now I'm going to use it as a placeholder so that I leave enough room and enough space to be able to heat emboss a couple of those Harlequin, the couple of diamonds in the Harlequins. And I'm just going to continue on here, filling in this whole card panel with all the diamonds. My powder tool kind of exploded onto my card base when I went to put just a little powder on to heat emboss my squares, but that's okay, we're going to go with it. So I'm going ahead here and I am just stamping with Altenew embossing powder. Now, if you don't have my heat tool, you should probably turn your heat tool on while you are doing this so that you get a nice hot heat gun by the time you're ready to emboss. My heat gun, it's a Wagner Studio, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It is hot from the time I hit on. It's ready to go, and it's crazy hot. So I generally don't kind of preheat my embossing powder, but that's just me. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is Crimson embossing powder from Emerald Creek. It's a really deep, dark red. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do these two full, I'm going to emboss these two full diamonds. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to heat emboss these little squares. And then I'm just taking a paintbrush here and I'm kind of flicking away some of the excess powder that is kind of hanging around because I don't want that there. That's no good. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat emboss all these little squares. Try not to burn my fingers. And now what I'm doing is I'm taking these little charms and I'm going to place them into some of the squares. So we have one of those little card dancers from Alice in Wonderland. I don't know what else to call them. And I have a little rabbit charm. And I have a little Cheshire cat. And so I'm just picking 3 of the diamonds and just placing them onto there. And I'm using that Eileen's glue, which was from my cherry box for June, that you can find an unboxing of it at another spot in my channel, but it's actually really nice glue and it sticks metal charms. So for me, that's a win-win and I kind of like it. So I've chosen this sticker that says thank you and has a picture of Alice, and I'm going to put it on the inside of my card as the sentiment. And then I'm going to start sticking my card base to the craft cardstock to mat it. And then I look at it and go, I'm not really keen on the white. The write-up on the card base, for some reason it just wasn't working for me. Somewhere in there I added black splatters too, but I think that I took that for whatever reason out of the video, and now I don't know where I went. I think I'm just getting my Vintage Photo Distress Oxide and my life-changing brushes, and then I'm just going to do a little bit around the edge, just really lightly, and then I'm going to add some black splatters to the corners of that, just because I wasn't happy with the stark white of the card. I wanted a little color. So I'm just going to go ahead here and just get this lightly around, and then I'm going to grab some black splatters, and I'm going to add some black splatters to my card, and then I'm going to set it aside to let everything dry. The glue and the splatters and the ink and everything. And that will pretty much complete this card. I'm just going to kind of clean up a little bit. You know how I like to clean up before I finish things. And I'm going to add the card base the card front to the card base, and done. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I highly recommend go order a bone folder from Christina because it's fabulous. It will make card making just So much easier for you. It's lovely. Here's a little close-up. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.